showing me those things about myself just reassured me when I felt like, I needed to have something, or I needed the attention of a group, or I needed to be validated in a certain way. I really did.
Hey there, good people, and welcome back to Soul Talk by Modern Woman. Soul Talk is all about creating a space where women can share stories that bring healing and life and solidarity. And sharing our stories, we create a space that lets other people know, hey, I'm not alone in this. There are other people out there going through these things, living and learning like me. And hopefully in the stories that we share, my heart, my desire is that you would learn things that make you think, see your life differently, see yourself differently, and find clues and tips and answers and even just, enjoyment from listening to our stories and going on this journey with us. So today's episode 4, starts off a series about identity and love. Each month I'll do a new series and then release the episodes from that series. And I get to hang out with my friend and sister, Wendi Logan. She is amazing. When I was thinking about this month's episodes and the series topic of identity and love, Wendi was the very first person who came to mind. She is a loving, gifted, talented, amazing woman and teacher and instructor, and I think you're going to get a lot from these episodes. We have so much fun, and it's really cool because our perspectives and experiences are so different and unique. There's a lot of good, open, honest, raw conversation in the series, and I am so incredibly excited to share it with you. And I'm not being dramatic. Actually, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but I'm also very, very serious. Okay. So with no further ado, let's jump in and get into episode 4. Hey everybody, welcome to this podcast episode. This is a new series on love, finding identity in love. Yes, it's February. I'm doing the thing that everybody does, and we're going to talk about love all month. And I am so excited to have my friend, my sister, Wendi, on today's podcast. Hey, Wendi.
Everybody. Hey. Hi. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be good.
It's going to be real good. Guys, Wendi is well, you know what, Wendi? I'm going to let you share about yourself, whatever you want to share. How about you introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. Like she said, I am Wendi, and I am a mother of 3 teenagers. I have a college student. She's a freshman. We just shipped her off, packed her up, and I probably will break down in about 7 days. I'm holding it together right now. I'm a creative. I work in ministry. I don't know. I like to have fun. What else can I say about myself? I don't know. What else? Am I missing something? That's all I got.
That's okay. That's great. I just wanted to hear, what do you want to share? Now, I'm going to gush for a little bit. Wendi is a super amazing, powerful woman. I have the pleasure of working and serving with her in the ministry, Kingdom Culture Inc. And she is a music artist, an actual artist. She's a painter. She is an amazing administrative mind. She knows how to organize people and get things done. And you're also a co-host of Spoonful of Sugar, right?
Yay. Woo. Yes.
Spoonful of Sugar, which is it's not a vlog.
It's not a vlog. We're kind of like social media influence vlog podcast, like a hybrid of whatever the Lord wants us to do in the moment. But we are like more geared towards social media influencing, just to put positivity on people's timelines.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I am more on YouTube, but I post everything on social media, and you guys are
highly on social media, and I love watching the videos. It's so great. So Wendi, thank you so much for joining me today. When I was thinking about the episode, I was like, talking about finding identity and love, the only person that came to mind was you.
Girl,
what the only one. So I kind of liked from the episode that I did with Cara, how I was like, sharing how we met, how we got to know one another, because Soul Talk is about women sharing stories to create a space of solidarity, knowing we're walking it out together and to encourage and edify one another. And I was like, it'd be cool to share how we all got to know each other. But so first, I want you to share what you remember about when we first met. So, and then I'll share what I remember.
Okay. This will be fun. So my sister, Anita, just up and moved to Atlanta, and I was for it, right? You helping her pack, drove her down, of the whole shebang, but she didn't have a place to live. So she had this job, this, budding career in whatever in Atlanta, and she was there and stuff happened, and she met this girl at her job who she kept talking about. She's like, she's really smart. You're going to like her, this and that, da, 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 da. She just kept going on and on and on. I'm like, well, who is this? I need to meet her, blah, blah, blah. Then they became roommates, right? And wouldn't you know, lo and behold, drum roll, this girl is Alicia. Yay! And so long story short, they started doing life together and journeying with the Lord, sharing things with each other. And I'm the nosy little sister. I just have to know everything. I'm like, who's this person? Who's this person? And we finally met and things just took off from there. We all start fasting together and consecrating together, and it turned into KCI, the ministry that we both serve in. And so my first impression of Alicia was, wow, she's first of all awesome, to take my sister in. I was really happy about that. Then secondly, I was like, man, she might be one of the smartest people I know. I'm like, she's just so smart, intelligent. And then when I finally got to meet and see her, I was like, oh my gosh, she's graceful and beautiful. Okay, you guys, Alicia's hair is different every time I see her, and it is always slayed and laid. You hear me? I was like, I'm impressed. Yes, everything from head to toe on Alicia is together, and that is my cup of tea. Okay, that was my first impression of Alicia. Okay.
I didn't know you were going to say all that. That's so cool. See, I didn't even know the part about you when Anita and I first met. So my first impression of Wendi was like, she's so cool. I mean, ever since I met you, I'm sure we met at the very first KCI retreat when I wasn't actually in KCI. I was just auditing, and I took a class so that I could go to it. And then we were doing yep. And so then we would have our morning prayer sessions, and I was like, I always loved how free you are with God and just unashamed of whatever you're hearing and sensing. You're just going to go there, and you would always catch the stuff that we would miss. And I was like, and oftentimes it would be this one little thing would be like, oh gosh, that's exactly what we needed to know. And I think for me, knowing you has been like, I can be cool too. To me, you're like the older sister, the cool older sister that all the little sisters want to be like.
We're going to get there.
Listen, yes, exactly. And so, yeah, you were the person too that I could just be like, I'd like to ask you questions and talk to you about stuff, because I'm like, Wendi is just going to say it like it is. And she's probably going to tell me something no one else will say or say it faster, which I love. I love it. But you're just so cool, guys. Wendi is so cool. She is so hip. She says I have it together, but she is always on 10 and like always gorgeous. I've never seen Wendi in a moment I'm like, she's so gorgeous. She's so gorgeous. I love how her hair is, all that stuff. It's great.
I appreciate that. No, you should have saw me about an hour ago. It was a mess.
You're not alone. No, I actually spent I put the rods in my hair, and then I took those out this morning, put the flexi rods in. Like my hair, I was going to have the curls. I was going for it. Yeah. I took it down and there was this whole section that was just straight. Like I didn't do anything to it. I'm like, we're pinning it up.
Definitely has a mind of its own. I mean, I'm natural hair is a whole other conversation, but embracing and loving the hair that grows out of our head. I'm so glad for that movement. How about that?
Me
but
too.
Your hair looks beautiful.
Thank y'all.
Try it.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Well, that's such a fun way to start the episode, just talking about how much we love each other, because that's what this is about. So today we're going to be getting into talking about, finding identity in love. And, I feel like first, before we really get into that, I will talk about the meat of the subject. I really want to talk first about identity. Like, what does it mean what is identity to you? Like when you hear that word and you think of this is what identity means, what comes to mind for you? Like the first thing?
Well, first of all, I'm really glad that we are talking about this. I feel like the Lord has been baptizing me in love for maybe the past 8 to 12 weeks. It's just been really intense, but it started with the identity piece.
It's good.
And I really felt like he has been showing me through experiences how he sees me. And that is the only point of view that really matters. His perspective of, how he made me, how he created me is who I am. And so I think knowing who you are allows you to embrace being loved. Because if you don't have that identity piece, there are parts of you that you might embrace love, but just the totality of you, all of you, you won't really experience, all that God has intended for you. So identity is crucial. It is the first step, knowing who you are. What does God say about you? Who am I? Yeah.
That's great. So it sounds like you're saying identity is God's definition of who you are and who he created you to be.
Yep.
Kind of?
Yeah. That sounds good. We'll go with that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, no. Is it really what you're saying? Because if I'm wrong.
No, really, it is. It is. It is what God says about you and how you fit, and how. So here we go. So when I'm talking, for example, to my kids about who they are in the world and in the earth, it's always mission based.
Got it.
We started in heaven before we were here. We have an assignment. So who we are and how we portray ourselves is directly linked to our assignment. And that assignment comes from the Lord. And there's freedom in that. It's not so rigid like the military, moment. There are moments where it is, but there is so much freedom and joy in that because we don't feel like we're just floating in the galaxy on a ball called the Earth. You know what I mean? There's a point to all of this. And when this is over, it won't be because there's more,
Yeah.
So I feel like, knowing, that mission and that assignment and what God has declared over you when he, originally made us in the beginning. What do our scrolls say? Who are we? So yes, Alicia.
I love that. So, okay. When did you feel like you really knew this is who Wendi is? This is me.
That's a struggle. I mean, because, I feel like I wouldn't say like I'm 100% there, because there are moments in life that take me by surprise.
Yeah.
I don't, like, ooh, that's in me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's there. I respond that way. You know what I mean? Oh, and I know, like, this whole pandemic, it really brought up like abandonment and rejection, those issues that I've been dealing with. And the Lord just kept reassuring me, like, you are a son. Like he just kept telling me that over and over and over again. And sit in your seat, showing me those things about myself just reassured me when I felt like, I needed to have something, or I needed the attention of a group, or I needed to be validated in a certain way. I really didn't, because it didn't matter. If that's not what God intended for me, that's okay. I am okay with that. And like, so I feel like it's an evolution. I feel like I grow in stages of knowing more about myself and who I am. Some of it, came through hardship, but some of it came through experiencing love in many ways in different types of relationships.
Be able to create that kind of content. So that's a whole other story, how the school system will lock people into something that's not real or true.
Yeah, that's true. And I was in the gifted and talented class, but it was not it's something that we wanted to be in. We were the weird kids. Hello. Okay. No. I was like, I got put in this because I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm weird, guys. I'm weird. So eventually I just embraced my weirdness. You're either gonna like me weird or not.
Right.
But I am weird. I am. So
okay. You're in good company.
Yeah.
But I think so many people are weird. I mean, and so that's another part of identity.
People are weird. That's right.
Everybody's weird.
Weird.
Oh my gosh. And the most fun people are the ones who embrace it. Like, let's just not try to fit in the bubble and look like everybody else around us, whatever. Like, you see that in so many culturally. I see that with my Black friends, with my white friends, in this church and that church there, or that school and this business. There's a culture that people feel comfortable with, and you assimilate to that culture so that you're comfortable. I've just never been very good at assimilating either. And so I would always feel like a loner. And that was where I think a lot of the reservation came from, is let me just reserve myself and observe and see if this environment is safe for me, and then I'll be. And I just kind of like threw it out the window. We're just going to be all the time. And then I'm going to open up myself to people that I'm, really called to walk out life with, who are, who want who want the full expression of how I am, and can handle it and can be trusted with that. So, yeah, I don't know if there's really a time where I was like, it was probably 29, 30 when I accepted how I was. And then that's where my style changed. I think just before that time is when I went natural. I did the big chop. I'm like, I'm tired of this straight hair I can't do nothing with. We're going to go all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really good point too. You made two good points, like about like yourself. One, I think the word is not being reserved. You're observant.
Oh, that's good.
I think, I don't think anything is wrong with that. That's what I would say. I'm like, you feel the room. You got to see what's happening here. What's going on. And, if it's off, you're going to pray. You know what I mean? That is going to happen. And also, I think like with age, there is a freedom that comes like no other. Now, a lot of people tell me I look really young. I think I just look like myself, but I'm 42. And, with each, decade of my life, I have become more and more free in my expression of myself. Because like, if I went back to how I was as a child, I was so like just out of the box. Like, I, was very expressive in that, and just trying to fit in, and life just kind of puts all this, pressure and these false identities on us. It's like, maybe not so much. And if I want to wear stripes and polka dots, or if I want to wear different colored plaids, or something that people don't think matches, or, like if I just want to express myself in a different way, I am. And I felt like, like when I turned 40, you wait till you get to 40. That it's even more liberating. I thought 30 was great. 40 is awesome. And I'm looking forward to 50, 60, 70, 80 and beyond, because it's just going to be.
It's just going to keep getting better.
Yes.
All right, I left you on a cliffhanger, but I'll give you a little peek of what's coming in episode 5.
Well, so here's my next question. I'm gonna throw this out there, and I think I'm just throwing us into the deep end. So we're gonna go
for it, girl.
So we talked about what identity looks like, and so I want to talk about what love looks like. Can you know yourself without loving yourself? Do you think, is it possible to really know your identity and own it and really see you and know who you really are without loving you too?
Guys, it was so good today. I loved sharing with Wendi, and it's so fun to hear what other people remember about meeting you. One of the things I'm loving about doing the first episode in each series is the conversation about how did you get to know me? What do you remember about first meeting me? What do I remember about first meeting you? I'm finding that those are some of the most life-giving portions of these episodes, because it's so cool to talk with people, especially friends that you know and admire, about first impressions, because those things can also tell you a lot about what your relationship is going to be like. Well, thank you so much for joining in on today's episode. Be sure to check out parts 2, 3, and 4 of this series. New episodes are released each week. If you want to stay up to date on Modern Woman, all the content, the new things that are coming our way, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can also enjoy these episodes on YouTube. You may be watching on YouTube. I hope that you enjoyed the video version of the podcast. If you're interested in watching all of our shenanigans as we talk and share in these episodes, please do follow me on YouTube as well. Thanks so much for joining in the journey, and we'll be with you again next week in a new episode.